besides having two, not one, guys, two assassination attempts, one that shot the ex-president Trump in the freaking head. Last Saturday, I don't know if, by the way, hey man, I kept this from all you guys. I don't think you guys know this, Rob. Last Saturday, a Secret Service agent accidentally shot himself while on duty in Washington, D.C. near the intersection of 32nd and Fessenden Streets in Northwest. The incident described as negligent discharge. Mind you guys, I was in the United States Air Force. I was a cop, Rob. We had a guy that did a negligent discharge. You know what that means? He was standing at his post and doing quick draw McGraw. He was grabbing his gun, shot himself through his quad, and filleted his calf open.
Oh my God.
Filleted, Rob. And all you hear is, by the way, I'm patrolling. All you hear is, Sarge. I'm like, what's up? Could somebody come to the front gate? He's laying there like, like dying.
Yeah,
because
we're like, if you hit an artery in your leg, you're done.
Bye. Oh, by the way, and then he negligent discharged the gun, and then he got discharged because you're an idiot.
What is this, the other guys? It's like the desk pop.
And it is. But Brandon, and mind you guys, this is Secret Service we're talking about.
Yeah.
Don't forget this. These guys are the cream of the crop, bro. So the agent was handling a service weapon when a discharge resulting in non-life-threatening injuries. Now, on the same Saturday, an armed security guard got really close to Barack Obama's vehicle, which raised significant security concerns. Obama was seated in the back of a black SUV near the upscale restaurant Mother Wolf in Martha's Vineyard, I believe, when the security guard employed at a nearby event noticed the federal agents guarding the vehicle. Outside, out of curiosity, he approached and realized the former president was inside. Think about this. This is an armed security guard. There's nobody should be able to get that close.
Yeah.
He walked up to the window and looked inside and was like, oh my God, it's Barack Obama. The guard quickly withdrew after realizing the potential danger of carrying a firearm so close to the vehicle. The guard thought about that. So the guard later shared that there was no Secret Service agents positioned at the rear of the SUV, nor covering the stairwell, which he identified as a serious oversight, okay? And to top it off, because we might as well go 3 for 3, that's a good batting average. Yesterday, a Secret Service agent assigned to Kamala Harris's security detail has been accused of groping a female campaign staffer during a trip to Wisconsin. The agent reportedly was drunk. That's always fun. At the time, was part of advanced team. Weird. Advanced team, Brandon. Normally the teams that go ahead to make sure everything's secure, like with Trump and Butler, PA. Weird. Preparing for the event. Following the allegation, the agent was removed from Harris's detail, placed on admin leave, and had his firearm and badge confiscated. The investigation of the incident is still ongoing. And guys, this is unbelievable and the most incompetent guys. These are the people protecting some of the most important people. And look, love them or hate them. Love or hate Trump, Kamala, Barack. I have mixed feelings. I would never want any of them to be shot or killed. Can't speak for the left, because the left, by the way, if you guys don't think, Rob, for 2 seconds, give me a list of the top 5 Trump haters. I'll start. Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah. Nancy Pelosi.
Rachel Maddow.
Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi. Oh, you're talking
Maddow.
Anybody. No, hold on, Rob. Anybody. Keith Olbermann. If Trump dies, they are having a party and they are celebrating. Guess what? We're not like that, okay? Yeah. I'm not like that. If Barack or any of these people die, it's a sad day for this country, but I can't say that for the other side. So, the Secret Service, Rob, just to give you guys a heads up, their job ratings tumbled 23 points to an all-time low. Americans' rating of the Secret Service job performance, and I think Kelly has the actual the chart. Yeah, Kelly, you can put up whenever you want, my love. They're deteriorated sharply to a new low Gallup 10-year trend. The poll was completed almost entirely before September 15th apparent assassination on Donald Trump. Okay, about 1 in 3 U.S. adults now rate the Secret Service performance as excellent. They're in the dark, 8%, or good, 24%, while 25% say it's only fair, and 36% say that it's poor. And by the way, this is not a good time to be incompetent with all the shit that's happening in the country, all right? Matt Gaetz, the other day, broke news that there's 5 hit teams, 5 in the United States, including Iranians, that are targeting Donald Trump. And the Biden administration and Harris administration were forced to brief. Finally, bro, it got so bad that they had to brief him on how bad this threat is. So it's freaking real. He said that Customs and Border Patrol had flagged a second would-be assassin, but Homeland Security investigations did not act on the information, raising concerns of potential lapses in security measures. And apparently, this is the last one. This came out yesterday. Did you hear this one, Rob? That there are 5. I already did that. One of them might be a Ukrainian group. And then the Ayatollah put out the video that we saw the other day, right, Rob?
Yes, that has been out for a bit. It came out, I believe, in 2022.
But
However, yes, it's gaining traction again because that is one of the leaders of Iran, foreign
is showing
country.
footage of kind of what Ryan Ralph was kind of seeing through the bushes and shooting, which is what. And then last, there were 2 separate intel reports this week that confirmed. Me and Brandon were talking about this. The presence of 9 surface-to-air missiles, possibly Iranian origin, smuggled into the U.S. via Mexico. Now, guys, one of my boys is like, you don't think that they would catch? I'm like, bro, no, you dumbass. You could walk through the border right now with a family of 50. They don't give a shit. Put an event. People act like it's secure. It's not secure. These missiles are designed, Brandon, and I'll let you go, for low altitude attacks that are believed to target President Trump's airplane at highly disturbing revelation by Dr. Pete Chambers. And what's more alarming is that the insider help may be involved. What were you going to say, Brandon?
No, yeah, especially when it's the DHS who's the one that's monitoring the border. So the DHS simultaneously lets this letter come out giving a $150,000 prize to anybody who tries to kill Trump again, from the guy who tried to kill Trump. Yeah. Then on the same week, they offer $20 million for a bounty to. So I guess somebody threatened to kill John Bolton, that piece of shit. Oh, and the DHS offered a $20 million bounty to anybody who gives evidence or helps them find the guy.
What?
Yeah, so they let the letter come public from the guy who's in jail who tried to assassinate Trump, but then they offer a $20 million reward to the guy who just said he's going to try to kill this military industrial complex guy.
Yeah, a nobody. What's
Isn't
up,
it interesting how they publish those things, yet when it comes to things like school shooters, like that Audrey
Gale
person,
Hale.
right? When that occurred, they didn't want to release the manifesto, and their justification is always because they don't want to encourage any type of behavior.
Yeah.
Yet they're releasing this letter offering a bounty for Trump's head as if it doesn't encourage more people to go out there and do the exact same thing.
Amy,
it's so hypocritical.
That's the reason why they did it. That's the reason, is to encourage people, because, and we talked about this last podcast, where's that 150,000 coming from?
Not him.
Weird-haired freak. He was asking people for money to help with Ukraine. That guy's not doing it. Amy, on top of that, too, you made a great point that Audrey Hale, another reason they didn't want to release that information, because that's a transgender.
Yeah.
The last thing they want you to know is that these people are screwed in the head. That's the last thing you want, because that religion, the LGBTQAI plus, go to hell. Rob, what are you going to say?
Well, it's truly evil in that scenario, because you're putting not that we should prosecute any person or persecute any person, but instead of protecting the children, you're protecting the LGBT community in that scenario by not releasing the letter. So they'd rather protect that person than protect the kids in the school that were shot by her. It's very interesting. I watched this morning. I woke up at like 2 in the morning because we had really bad weather in the area, and I couldn't fall back asleep. And I was watching Eric Weinstein on the Modern Wisdom podcast, and he talks about how the deep state, there is a deep state, but he talks about how both sides, both the right and the left, work behind the scenes, and neither one of them can actually have Trump win. So it's not just the left, it's also the right that is actively working behind the scenes against Trump. So you have to wonder, does anybody besides the American people want this guy to be in office? The whole thing is that he's not part of the establishment, and what Eric talks about in that interview is that both sides work for the establishment.
1,000%.
But they brought in a guy, he was an anomaly, that doesn't work for the establishment, they cannot control, and so realistically, both the Democrats and the Republicans don't want Trump to win. And for me, that was a really eye-opening thing to hear, that, it's not even the right that wants him now. It's only the people that are voting for him that actually want him to be in office. Wow. The rest, all the 80 million that voted for Joe Biden, if you believe that number, they don't want him. Neither do the Democrats, and neither do the Republicans. So if they can't stop him because the American voters want him, then what is the only option that they've had? It's the thing that you've been calling out for the past year, Vinny, is they have to kill him. It's terrifying.
It's, Rob, terrifying, and I'm telling you guys right now, it's not over. We have 2 months left. Guys, they're not going to stop at nothing. And Brandon, what I said when I walked in today, guys, his polling numbers are going up. The honeymoon is over. The Kamala Harris honeymoon is over. They tried to do this hiding her. By the way, the only thing that would have saved her ass, Humberto, was a pandemic or a major event that would have to keep her in the basement. Period. Like almost as if it was planned with Joe Biden. Go ahead, Rob.
It's not over yet. Like you just said, there's still 2 months left.
4 months.
Well,
you have inauguration.
And you,
Yeah, inauguration.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you said the surface-to-air missiles, but Alex Jones has been saying for months now, and people might laugh at that, but he did call 9/11 like months before it happened. He's been saying for months that they're going to try to shoot down his plane.
Dude, and remember, he had an emergency landing already.
Yeah,
Which I'm not
everybody overlooked that.
Yeah, him and his vice president, guys.
Yeah,
the
what the hell
odds
is
of that are so freaking slim. And I'm telling Rob, you made a freaking great point. He's against all odds. And the guy, by the way, even if you say, keep him in the basement. I forgot who it was. I was like,
I was saying that.
Brandon, keep him hiding, whatever. Brandon, even the people bringing you food, even those inside people, you cannot trust anybody. I don't know how this guy is not mentally losing it, Brandon. Like I would be losing my mind, dude. I've had problems in the past, especially when I was on the East Coast stuff, with people that are like, yo, when I see you, I'm gonna kill you. Like that does something to you, Rob. You can't sleep. Everywhere you go, you're looking over your shoulder. Could you imagine? This guy has to walk around. Not only is he fearful from crazy son of a you-know-whats that are trying, even the Secret Service, even the people inside, even the Republicans that are like, hey, we love you. Like Mitch McConnell. You trust Mitch McConnell if you're Donald Trump?
How did they know that he was golfing in Palm Beach? Answer that question, because it wasn't on his schedule. It was a
last minute
decision. So how did this guy know to camp out there for 12 hours waiting for Trump to go golf?
Sean Hannity knew. Sean Hannity knew and didn't go.
It's a fact.
When Dan Bongino started saying there's a mole inside the Secret Service, that's when I believe it, because he's the biggest anti-conspiracy guy ever, which has been annoying about him. Like after the first one, he's saying, "Oh, let's tap the brakes." We don't know. Like I'm like, yeah, Dan, we do know.
And he worked for them, Brandon. He worked for the Secret Service.
Exactly. So he's kind of an establishment media guy. But after this, he's like, no, beyond any doubt, there's definitely a mole inside the Secret Service. There's no way that they could have known about that.
I believe that 100%.
This is not for nothing. These people work here, they work there, they show you something, and then they're passing or they're putting together a constitutional amendment in Congress due to political violence. Now, when a congressperson gets elected, this is what they want to do. They need to put a list of 5 people to replace them.
Oh, God.
Can you tell why? All right, because they're scared that a big shooting event or like a lot of them are going to get killed if Trump doesn't get elected, if Kamala gets elected or whatever, and they don't want to lose a Senate majority. That's what they're concerned about. And the thing is, it's not a bill, this is not a law, this is a constitutional amendment, and they're working on both sides. It's a bipartisan agreement. I don't think it's terrible to have them replaced. But that's how scared they are that they're working on a constitutional amendment if any of them happens.
Okay, guys, because I'm having that moment right now. Do you guys understand what this guy, by the way, and I believe 100%, God is in charge of everything. God picked this orange spray tan, ear-fired guy to be the person to show us what this, Rob, out of all the people, he picked Donald Trump, Mr. Arrogant, New York business, you're fired, cussing, people hate him, to be the guy to pull open the curtain and show us that, guys, everything is evil. These people are disgusting. They're working for something more sinister. And it took this guy, bro. I hope to God they protect this guy at all costs, bro. And then, mind you, Humberto, God willing, he stays alive, Rob, and he does it 4 years, and he keeps going. Life after Trump, I keep saying this. Who's gonna take the mantle? Who's gonna step up? Because if they're not trying to do to him what they do to the new person, they're with them.
Right.
If they're not actively trying to shoot your fucking head off. And talk about surface-to-air missiles and all this shit, then you're with them, okay? Because if Hillary won, if Hillary was in right now, we'd be bombing the shit out of Iran. We'd be bombing the hell out of all these countries with Syria and everything. The end of the world might have happened already. Yeah. I truly believe that.
100%.
Oh,
yeah, he delayed their plan.
He did, and I can't wait to get into the UN one because that's what they're gonna do. Your story is because they have a. By the way. The jig is up. It looks like he's gonna win right now, unless something catastrophic happens, or a bomb, or an assassination, or pandemic number 2. Bill Gates and all them have been calling for it. Go ahead, Rob.
Reagan was known for peace through strength, right? Using the military and having that force to be able to negotiate and get peace. Trump didn't have to do that. Trump found peace through business.
Yeah.
He was able to negotiate with these world leaders and keep in a very volatile world that we live in. For 4 years, we had no new conflicts.
Yeah.
Yep.
We know that there's a military-industrial complex. Eisenhower warned everybody about it. JFK was assassinated possibly because of it. At what point do we have the ability, because we're at the point where we're at like a revolutionary phase,
Yes.
right? That's what I really
Yes.
believe is where we're heading. And that was kind of the whole conversation that Eric Weinstein was having. We're at a revolutionary phase. Guys, if we're at a revolutionary phase, how do we, as people that don't want to see war happen, how do we as citizens of this country prevent it from happening?
Every single citizen in the country protests paying taxes until they start spending the way we want them to spend.
Then they'll just lock us all up. They'll
Every single person-
they'll freeze your bank accounts. Like I'm
Everybody-
actually asking, and you might know the most because you've lived in other countries that were in civil wars that were going on. How can we get peace through business, and instead of going peace through military, we can peace through negotiating? How do we make that phase of citizens for our government?
They can't lock up 300 million people, though.
That's a lengthy answer. The thing is that money in the United States doesn't mean anything anymore. We're 32 trillions in debt. Even it's 36 trillions in debt. Even if they print money, like, it doesn't do anything. Like the incentives are placed in such wrong ways for everything to work. It's very difficult.
That's what I
now
was gonna say.
Now the average citizen, they need to talk. That's what they need to do. They need to go to a neighbor with a Kamala sign, ring the doorbell,
I agree.
go like, hey, why Kamala? Have you seen this? Have you seen this war? Have you seen this other thing? Like if you approach an average citizen everywhere, like we have conversations with everyone all the time, and we need to start talking to each other. It's a
think-
democracy.
Yeah, no, great point. I'm going to show one last video. Rob, great question and great point. It's us. It's the guys. It's we the people for a reason. We're the 99.9999%. They're a very small freaking group, and we have to come together because their goal is everybody's fight. You're black. I'm white. I'm tall. You're short. I'm a female. Abortion. They have us
Gay,
all-
straight.
Gay, straight, everything, Rob, everything. And
Every single thing.
And it's everything to keep us apart. Rob, it's two things. Great point. We come together and say F that and do what Brandon said. Everybody come together and just stop. Like, for instance, when gas is skyrocketing, if we as a unit, as an American, we the people said, guys, everybody today, nobody get gas.
Yeah.
Nobody get gas. You know what it would drop to? You know what gas would drop to? Cents. 10 cents a gallon. But that's the problem is one guy will be like, oh, the hell with you. We'd start a fight. They start a riot. They'd probably send agitators to start. And then some guy would be like, I got to go to work. It's unity. It's either going to be that or God. God is going to have to come down, Jesus Christ, like it says in the Bible. The sky opens, he comes out with trumpets, and this whole thing gets reset. That's it.
You know what's kind of like, Vin? You know how the mafia, when they would try to get their way with people, they were always in the waste disposal industry?
Yeah.
Like when they were trying to...
Yeah, what'd they do?
They would stop picking up the waste.
Stop picking up the garbage.
Yeah.
And that's a great freaking point. And then we just have to stop putting up with their freaking garbage and come together. This last video, guys, this scares the shit out of me. Okay, Rob, go ahead, Rob.
Is this the guy that was talking about you need to stock up and you need to be...
Rob,
I've been looking for this. I'm so
Oh,
glad you
yeah.
found
Rob,
this.
but say it. Say, you know what you're about to see?
because I couldn't find it. I remember seeing, like, as I was scrolling, I saw somebody sitting in a position of power, it looked like, warning people to be prepared. And then I could not figure out who it was. I'm so glad.
Oh, okay, I love you,
There's
Rob. This
another
is,
one that's
this
good,
is the
too.
former FBI member, Marcus Allen. He was in front of Congress, and he urges guys, when people like this is the inside. The FBI is corrupt to shit. I'm sorry I cuss. I hope it's past 8 minutes, and I apologize for cussing.
We're good, Vinny.
They are beyond cooked. Okay, they're overcooked. Is the FBI? I have zero trust in them. I do hope that they get freaking dismantled. The entire FBI. He's urging for this guy to urge Americans to vote and stock up for 3 to 4 months of supplies of food and water. And he says, pray. When people like this talk, you should listen. Kelly, play the tape.
And everybody in the minority party, they're fearing what Donald Trump would do in the next administration while they sit here and they look at the guy who's been persecuted by the FBI. And everybody in the room understands it. Mr. Allen, do you have comments you wish to make? I'll give you about a minute and a half, and then I want to turn the rest of my time to Mr. Jordan.
He gets emotional.
Yes, sir. I would just say that I consider the hearing today my last act of service as a public servant for the United States of America. And I'll give you my professional opinion. I was an intel professional for our country for many years, and I would give recommendations, and I'd also look at indications and warnings. So I would offer this to the American people as my warning to them. Since this is a warning to the American people, I say, I personally have no confidence that the FBI will rein in its own conduct. I've been persecuted along with Garrett, Steve and Kyle, and countless other whistleblowers. It is my opinion that the Bureau used reprisal and fear to control the workforce. It has been a seemingly effective tactic. I personally believe that there are no current effective checks and balances against them conducting lawless action with any type of correction in a legitimate time frame. I welcome the work of the IG, but I think any type of lawless action, there's no legitimate time frame to rein them back in. Their ability to overclassify information can allow them to stonewall forever. To the American people, you have a duty as a citizen to vote, and I strongly urge you to do so. It's how you participate in the American experience. I know people have doubts about election integrity, but you must vote. It is your claim. Stake your claim and don't forfeit it willingly. Have your voice heard. My other recommendations are in the natural order. First, vote. The second is the Second Amendment. Arm yourself and know how to defend yourself. Make 3 to 4 friends in your neighborhood and promise to come to each other's mutual aid in times of hardship. And during the Great Depression, people stocked up a pantry. So I think that's a good practice, especially in our economic times, and make sure you have 3 to 4 months of food. And as a person of faith, I'd say pray the rosary, go to the First Friday devotions. That's for everybody, all my brothers and sisters of all faiths, and I know I'm Catholic, and read the gospel of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and live it every day. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for the time.
Wow.
You know, Mr. Al.
Wow, Rob, guys, go ahead, Rob. Say what you're gonna say.
You talk about unity. One of the things he said is find 4 people in your neighborhood and band together to make sure you guys work together. That's unity. And that's, I think, what will get us through these dark times is each other, that we have to band. And that's why I'm grateful to work for a company that we work for like this, because it is people of like-minded that have, I think it's a community feel that you have when you come here and you work here, and it's important to have that because we can disagree on things, but we can at least have the conversation.
Exactly.
And like you said, go talk to your neighbor. Go say, why do you support her? Let's have a conversation. Yeah. Maybe you can persuade them to go the right way, but it's unity and community that will get us through this.
I love
And
it.
that's why censorship is more prevalent than it's ever been before, because they know how powerful we are in numbers, and so they're trying to do everything they possibly can to prevent us from talking and getting together and agreeing on these issues.
100%. Guess what? Shut you up, take your guns, make you hate each other, and they run to the bank.